Hello everyone, welcome again to Investing with a Difference. So today I'm back with a lot of EOS news, and most of it is a good news, some updates on what's going on in terms of news. But first of all, the biggest news is that Bitcoin has managed to stay above the critical support levels. If you remember, yesterday it was breaking out, and I was looking for this candle to close above this 6850 line. Not only did it cross and close above it, it actually broke out above $7,000, which is a very significant psychological mark. And I think right now it's resting around this low, which we had formed in May. And that is, I think, it's taking some breather, which is not a bad sign. I think we do need markets to go and consolidate here before going up, and that will be more sustainable move. More importantly, I think EOS had a very good run. It had a very big jump in the middle of the day, where a lot of buying came in. If you see the volumes on Binance, and we almost broke out above $6 in dollar terms, while we have made very significant progress against Bitcoin. So it's a great sign. I think we are looking at pretty good progress in the market in terms of what's going on in a wider cryptocurrency market, and that's what is impacting EOS. So now let's look at the EOS news. And the one big thing which happened is there was an issue which was reported and fixed by the team that at block.one. So basically what happened was there is a RAM exploit where somebody was able to maliciously go and occupy RAM in any account on EOS by using a certain kind of an exploit, which were easy. And right now what is happening is this has been fixed, but Dan Larimer has posted on Medium, and he has explained that what really happened. It's a little bit of a defensive post, I would say, but of course he's presenting facts while trying to defend that it's not a big issue. And as I have been saying, I think softwares always have bugs. It's not a big deal. So as Dan has really summarized it, that there were no tokens stolen, which is a great thing. So the bugs are become really critical on any blockchain if you have property lost. So the good thing is that property was not lost. There was some RAM which was so as you know that you cannot really take away or delegate RAM in EOS. So basically what the people did were the malicious contracts were actually filling up your RAM with some data, which and you were losing your RAM because of that. Now that part, because as you know that first of all it is already fixed, but moreover, because we have the governance practices, that we have a process in EOS to, if all the block producers agree, and if there is a agreement from the governance side, that we can release this RAM which was maliciously occupied, and because that was not the intent of the code, as Dan Larimer had repeatedly said that should be one of the key thing, which definitely, while he is against the current form of ECAF, he's talking about that we should have arbitration where if the intent of the code was not to do anything bad, and in this case there was no real need for writing that malicious code and occupying that RAM. So this should be able, we should be able to recover this RAM through that process, and I think that's great news, and that is again a pretty good thing in EOS, which we should appreciate. So so this is what he has explained. I think I will put a note here and a link that you can read this in detail if you're interested. Overall, I think it is not as bad as I think. Of course, there will be a lot of FUD because people who are not in the EOS ecosystem, they are just looking for reasons to bring EOS down. But as you see that the market is really taking EOS up, even relative to Bitcoin, it has gained pretty significantly today. So the good news is that market is not paying attention to the FUD, and as explained by Dan, that it is not a huge issue. So we should just treat it as a bug as it was, and this is not going to be the last time when we will find bugs, and their software always has bugs, and they can be reported. The good thing is the bug bounty is still going on, and people are really working hard to find any bugs and report it to block.one, and that is a healthy system in any software world. So let's look at some other good ideas which are happening. So One thing is, if you have been following Telegram or some of the Twitter feed, people are talking about what happened over last couple of days. So Dan Lerman had been discussing this on the EOS Rex channel. He was discussing UBI, that is your universal basic income, and a lot of people got involved. It became a very hypothetical discussion, which I think based on my understanding, it was a kind of hypothetical scenario where, let's say, if everything runs on blockchain in the world, and we can have a inflation-free economy, then you can create 4% inflation EOS right now to give it away to everybody as a basic income. So basically, translating that into EOS world, what he's trying to suggest is that the current extra 4% inflation can be actually distributed to token holders, and it will be based on unique identities. That means people who have maybe it will be distributed equally to people who are in EOS ecosystem. Now, personally, I think while it's a great idea, as long as we can really identify unique individuals, and as long as we can make sure that this system cannot be gamed, as I have said before, EOS is, while it is an ecosystem in itself, like people, 99% of people do not understand cryptos, and if I am a bad actor, I can always create a malicious code and a malicious app and create thousands of accounts to gain from this kind of rule where you are getting free income just for holding EOS or just for having an account. And so this is something which we need to be very careful. Of course, it's an ideal world scenario where everybody owns EOS tokens, and we have a EOS based blockchain economy. Then definitely it makes sense, and it was a great discussion, but I would say it is more of a utopian world, which may not happen anytime soon. So what's other news? I think one thing we talked about yesterday about the apps and the dApps like which are running on EOS and how they are breaking records. Now this was a very interesting graphics, which is last 24-hour transactions for any app running on blockchain. And if you look at it, EOS Dice, which is more of a gambling game, and EOS Knights, these are the biggest apps right now across any project. And as you know that Ethereum is the only project which is running with the dApps, and you can see the blue is Ethereum and red is EOS. And if you remember, CryptoKitties was actually one of the biggest app in Ethereum, which had brought down the Ethereum network. And right now IDEX, which is one of the decentralized exchanges that is running most volume on Ethereum. And what you can see here, that already these couple of games are way above above Ethereum chain, and that is something which will keep improving. I'm expecting to see all top 10 dApps on EOS very soon, because more and more apps are becoming popular, and this is bound to happen. So what else is happening? Some other interesting news coming is, if you understand that right now we are in an EOS world and we are not able to trade in a decentralized way with the other cryptocurrencies. So this is one of the things which came to my attention, that there is a company, Swap Online. What they're trying to do is they are trying to create atomic swap between BTC, that is Bitcoin, and EOS, and they have actually done a test run of it, and they have shared the results. So basically what it means is you should be able to trade without any centralized entities in a decentralized way. You will be able to trade Bitcoin to EOS, which is going to be really great, I think, for EOS ecosystem and for overall health of economy. I think Bitcoin is still the store of value and the most important cryptocurrency, and EOS is coming up as the best platform, and this EOS and Bitcoin ecosystem can really be all you need to run a blockchain centered world. So it's promising. I think a lot of good stuff is happening. Then another news which came to my attention is Monster EOS. If you remember, we looked at this was a more of an open source app which was being developed, and they are trying to improve the user experience, and they are partnering with Vertex Studio. Now what they're trying to show you is that what is possible with the 3D visuals, and you will be able to see such mobile apps where this game will be very high quality, in sense that it will be almost at par with your other non-blockchain world games. So let us have a quick look at what kind of graphics they are planning when you are fighting your monsters, and this is looking very exciting. Think about this kind of a game on blockchain, which is really going to change the perception that you cannot really play real-time games on a blockchain, and that is what EOS is bringing. And this is something which is very exciting, and I think we should pay attention to this, and a lot of good stuff is coming. Now finally, while you may have been waiting, we talked about the airdrops, and the two airdrops and two new snapshots which everybody has to give attention to is one is Wobbly. Of course, we talked about it in as a fork. Now this 1 billion airdrop, that is a 40% of total token supply, and they have confirmed that they are going to do this, I think on the Telegram. So I'm not able to open that right now, but on Telegram channel they've confirmed that the snapshot date is 7th September, and so make sure that all your tokens are in your wallets, not on exchanges. And if you're planning to buy more tokens, so Wobbly is going to be one of the bigger chains, because as I said before, they are doing a lot of good work in terms of being compliant and trying to bring the financial services onto EOS chain. And it is a side chain. They will have their new accounts, so you will have to enter your public key, and you will be creating new accounts. So this is non-mainnet. This is not like usual mainnet airdrops. This will be a totally new token, which and totally new chain. It's almost like what we used to have for Ethereum and Ethereum Classic and so on. So this will be a new chain, and you will have to use a different network. So most probably, I'm assuming that the Scatter and Greymass will start supporting these kind of things, and you will be selecting the network whenever we are interacting with Wobbly chain. Other thing, I think I already highlighted to you earlier about Tribe. So remember, so Tribe is not giving you airdrops based on how many EOS you have, but they are giving extra tokens. So with Tribe, either you can earn tokens by referral, so we had given you referral link, and by creating account, and we also showed you how you can air grab on the EOS toolkit. So if you go to EOS toolkit /air grab, you will be able to air grab those tokens. So if you do not create a Tribe account as per the referral link we had given you, you will only get 50 tokens, and otherwise you will get 250 tokens. And for every token you earn, so how do you earn? So Tribe is very similar to Steemit. You can add articles, you can review articles and rate other people's article, and you make tokens. And on 11th September, whatever is your token balance, they will give you another set of they will double your balance during this airdrop. And this is what is exciting about it. So please make sure, if you believe in this, and one reason why I'm highlighting this is so what you are going to see is Tribe is already becoming gaining ranks very fast. So Alexa, this is a ranking company which is telling you what is how the traffic is coming to a site. And if you see, this is exponential rise. Of course, it's a new site, so you will see this big jump, but it is not like one big jump. It's consistently going up, and among the millions of sites which are there, being 264,000 globally and 75,000 rank in US in just a month or less than a month is very, very